they don't set. But stars like, or constellations like Virgo and the same Pisces, which are on the equator, they rise and they set. This is very, very important. So I'm saying all of that with understanding the position, again, the azimuth, and of course the altitude. We had to take all of this into consideration when we align the pyramid, not necessarily with Thuban. This is the point. We align the pyramid with the northern celestial pole, because due to the precession of the equinox, Thuban will move and Polaris will come into his place. It's going to take a while, maybe at least 3,000 years, and Polaris will come into his place and be the northern celestial pole star, and then Polaris will align with the king's chamber. You understand? All of this is key. All right, good. Now, saying all that to say, and I know we kind of went through that quickly, but we didn't want to stay too long over again, because it's going to come in very important here. Now we're looking at where are we? This is Karnak, not Karnak in Kemet. This is in Brittany. So we're dealing with Europe now. This Karnak is spelled with C's, not K. And these are freestanding stones known as menhirs. These are megaliths as well, and they also have their own play as it relates to the sun and the rising thereof. Now, this is the great Stonehenge. And when it comes to archaeology as it and its relation to astronomy, which again is a whole science now, archaeoastronomy, Stonehenge is usually the place where everyone begins. It's the most promoted, you know. Even in Antigua here, Green Castle Hill is referred to as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. All right, so you observe again the freestanding stones, and they are in a henge formation. This is really what a henge really is. A henge is really like a circular formation, and it's designed in such a way. This is how it used to look. The henge, the stone structure, the standing stones. This is how it's looking now. You have the standing stones with the horizontals on top, the lintels as such. And then you see this the shadow, which comes from the rising or the setting sun, depending on what time of year it is. Because now the way that Stonehenge is built, it's aligned with the solstices, which is the spring and the equinoxes and the solstices, everything. The spring equinox, the fall equinox, the solstice of the summer, and the solstice of the winter. But like many other monuments, listen to this, the monument is not necessarily designed to align with the sunrise of the solstice of the summer and the sunset of the same. No, because of maybe the latitude on the planet. For example, like a place like Stonehenge now, who is all the way up there in England in the sense of latitude, going way up in the north, outside of the tropics there. So you would find that Stonehenge is built, for example, to align with the rise of the summer solstice and the sunset of the winter solstice. You follow that? Okay, good. Mystically, because of the latitude. So all of this has to be taken into consideration as you are the builder. So this is one angle, and you could see the other angle here, the rising or the setting of the sun now, and you could see the shadows falling on the background. So what this creates now from the ground view is a spectacle with the sun, whether it be rising or setting, coming through the doorways that has been created, the pathways that has been created. Some would say the stargates that has been created by the menhirs, these megaliths that has been erected here at Stonehenge. All right. So basically, that is why individuals will flock to these places during the time of the solstice and the equinoxes, so that they could bask in the alignments that have been created. These are created alignments. These were put together. So then you're gone into history now. People will tell you this is the Northern Neolithic age, and And you know, these individuals of that time would have put these together. Then you have a next level where people are going to start to tell you about aliens and all of these different things. Well, this is not an alien here. Or he's, I don't even want to laugh. But anyway, this is us here at Stonehenge in England, the very same Stonehenge at Salisbury, and observing the alignment of that time, just blessing up the one honorable prophet Mosiah, bless up the one honorable prophet Newton as well. You see us there with the gloves on hand, chilly, isn't it? Yeah, so that's that. So giving an understanding of Stonehenge, and then now this is Newgrange, pardon me, still in Europe now. This is Newgrange. This is also a monument said to be a temple that is some 5,000 years old. Now, the way this is set up, this is in Ireland, pardon me. This is in Ireland, by the way. And the way this is set up, this is just one of two others. You have a three, pardon me. You have North and North and Newgrange itself. And they all built to astronomically align, for sure, with the sun, moon, and stars, as well as planets. But what can be proven thus far is the winter solstice sunrise as it relates to Newgrange. If you observe this pathway here, this is where the light of the sun would come through on the winter solstice sunrise. Very, very, not the summer solstice sunrise, the winter solstice sunrise, and again, not the sunset. Now that's interesting, you know, because listen to me good. Not because it aligns with the summer solstice means it aligns with the winter solstice. But if it aligns with the spring equinox, it's supposed to align with the winter equinox, specifically depending especially where you are. A lot of these key alignments would take place in the tropics as well, you know, for sure. Now, that is why on the you will find the azimuth and the altitude of our key star, the sun, would be the same on the equinoxes. You understand, depending on where the observer is. All right. So the light now of the sun on the equinox, no, the solstice of the winter morning. Remember all of these key things, eh? Good. Would come through the same pathway here. If you notice, it has a lot of spiral. Let me show you this too. It has a lot of designs around the side, eh? And different sort of writings and drawings and spiral formation. Very, very important. Now, again, it has two pathways. There's a doorway and a window. In fact, I think the window was unearthed or discovered like about a couple centuries ago, in the sense that, you know, it wasn't occupied, it wasn't used for thousands of years. And what they noticed is that when the light comes through the door, it doesn't go all the way back to maybe the room you'd consider the holiest of holies. But when the light comes through now, and this is on the winter solstice, sun morning rising, when the light comes through the window box now, it goes all the way back to the holiest of holies. So you see it here now, the sun coming up in the morning. So I'm very close to the temple though. But anyway, the light coming through the window. I guess this would be the door, but the light would have hit somewhere here. But when it comes through the window, it goes all the way to the back. And also this is looking at it from the inside actually. And you could see the angle of the light hitting down. It wouldn't reach all the way back there, but you could see the angle of the window, which again would carry it to the room that, you know, would be considered the holy room, the room of the high priest, and where the higher and the feet would really show itself. That is the connection of the astronomical movements and the megalithic site. All right. Now, this is another example of that very same sort of vibration with the light coming through the temple. Now, those of you who were with us, I think it's Saturday evening, we did the lecture, The Mystery of the Ark. Now, remember, if you didn't see The Mystery of the Ark, because this is like a continuation of The Mystery of the Ark, you know, in a sense, we started with the pyramid and Rastafari. Again, if you didn't see that, that's right here on YouTube. You could just go and check my YouTube channel, Precise Acts YouTube channel. Just about 7 days or so ago, I think we did that. And then we did an online lecture, a webinar lecture, which was the mystery of the ark, where we touched a bit upon what I'm going to talk about now. So it just kind of came to mind. And I'm saying that if you missed that one, you should see that one as well. You should be a part of that as well. It's still there. It won't be live, but that's the goodness of the webinar. Live, and you know, we interact, but it won't be live, but it's still there. It's a 2-hour lecture, you know what I'm saying? And you should be a part of that, you know, to give you a better understanding of the levels that we are carrying it to. So if you want to still see the mystery of the ark, it's not late. You can still email me. You know the email, precise@27@gmail.com, and we will give you the pass. So you could just press the pass and you go and see the lecture, and you can still make your payments using the CashApp or any other money transfer, you know, payment procedure that pleases you. So now at Abu Simbel, what I was saying about the lecture with the ark, though, I was highlighting Karnak, and through the time frame and everything, I skipped over Abu Simbel, but I still was showing something that took place in Abu Simbel, and I think I somewhat mixed it up with the Karnak, because the Karnak temple really is, it shows you exactly what they would want to highlight as even how Solomon built his temple, and we were showing you that on the lecture, the mystery of the ark, so you should check it out. But anyway, let's just stick to this and keep to our timing. So at the great Abu Simbel itself, we have the temple at Abu Simbel, and the same way as we were looking a moment ago at the temple there in Ireland, this is the same way that the sun comes down this temple and illuminates the holiest of holies, where you have statues in there of Ptah and Sokar and the king Ramesses II plus Amun-Ra. Now this alignment, interestingly, is not on any solstice nor equinox. This alignment is on the 20th, 21st to the 23rd, somewhere there about February, and the same dates in October, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October. The light of the sun comes down the hall and illuminates the back room. And what happens, this is Ptah, this is Amun-Ra, this is the king Ramesses. Remember, he's not a god, he's just a king, but them is gods, them is not king. You have Ptah, the deity, the Neter, Amun-Ra, the Neter, and you have Ra-Herokote, the Neter. And in between Ra-Herokote and Amun-Ra, you have Ramesses, the king, the Nesut. Now, one will say, the Nesut Beti, because it's the rule of the two lands. So now one would say, well, you know, okay, interesting, because history says Ramesses had himself as a god, you know. And what happens here now, this is like early days, because the light doesn't start here. The light starts right here, and then it will move as the days go across. And then maybe the last day or so, you get the full 3, and then it moves off. But the sun never hits Ptah. It only hits these 3. And my interpretation of it is that Ramesses, who is the only human amongst them, because these are the gods as such, Ramesses is telling you, well, he is a god, and not only he's a god, he's Ptah. That's why the light now hit Ptah. Ptah is in the room, but the light hit Ramesses as he represents that trinity there. That's how I see this here. That's just my own interpretation. I'm going to do a whole program on it sooner or later, where I go into it in depth. Even then, toes look mystically different, but anyway, go more into it. But the point we're dealing with here for the moment is the alignment with the sun and the temple, and how the ancient ones saw that it was very important. All right, let's move on quickly, because we didn't want to stay too long on this. We are here now at the temple, this one, Chichen Itza. This temple is called Castile, and you have the temple of the sun up here. This one is definitely an equinox alignment, and the equinox alignment is seen specifically from a specific temple that is just across, I think it's about 22 degrees, somewhere between 17 or 22 degrees from the axis of this temple. So in other words, from this side, it has been designed from this side to see the specific alignment that falls on the temple here, Castile, which is again at Chichen Itza. We are talking about the ancient Mayan kingdom. We are talking about Central America, Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, Belize, Honduras, these different places there. This is where the Mayan had their stronghold. And this is one of the outstanding temple. All right. Now, what happens here, depending on the angle again, you're observing one of the stairways. There are 4 stairways, but one of the stairways has the head of the snake. So you see it on this one from this angle, the head of the snake and the head of the snake. So what happens now, as I said, from specific viewpoints, on the 21st day of March, on the spring equinox and the fall equinox, what happens? And we're right in the tropics here for sure. You get a glaring look of what may appear to be a serpent now coming down the stairway, you know, the head illuminated, creating like a snake coming down the stairway. And of course, you understand the science that the snake is very important in the Mayan tradition. It's really the deity known as Kulkukan or Quetzalcoatl. And this is the impression you get here during the time of the equinox. It's like it's highlighting. This is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon with the setting of the sun for the spring equinox, where you get this rendition of Kulkukan appearing, coming down the pyramid. And the same thing also with Kariakol. This is also within the same area of Chichen Itza. Blessed love family, you done know we glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Definitely welcome to another edition of Chalice Talk. That is why those of you who know what Chalice Talk is all about, this is really the program for those who don't mind coming in and spending time with us, even if it's a few hours. This is a program for those who, you know, value the different levels of information and inspiration you get here. Nobody rushing and oh, let's get to the subject. None of them people really usually stay around here because this is Chalice Talk. You know, give thanks to those who have their chalwa and seat it up and already has blazed it up with myself, and for sure already taken in this wonderful video. As you know, this is what we do. We watch or listen to something that inspires us before we go into the main subject. And of course, this is an episode we did, I think it's over a year ago. Was it that long? Directly dealing with, well, what you're listening to here. And there's a reason why. Obviously, anyone who is listening to this, whether it's what you thought the subject was or not, and this has to do with the subject. This is why we have to address the subject, because we are definitely far gone. But, you know, whether you know if this is a part of the subject or not, just the knowledge that you're getting here, anyone that's serious about knowledge and academia would be happy to sit in and hope that I would stop talking and let the other fella continue to say what he has to say. All right, I will do that. Just give me a few moments and I'm going to return. And its alignment is also, as you can see, it looks like some sort of astronomical observatory. And you could see even with the setting there, the winter solstice, sunset, summer solstice, sunrise, summer solstice, setting, northern Venus setting, all of these things, very important, even when you check the calendar of these people as well. Machu Picchu now, and we're going to look to wrap up here. Machu Picchu has its own alignment as well. Even with the summer solstice, you see this window has been designed to actually, if you want to say, accommodate the gleaming sun as it rises over the hill on the exact date of the solstice. All right, same thing can be seen in Angkor Wat and Angkor Thom. as well. There are many alignments in Angkor when it comes to the equinoxes and the solstices as well. Really too numerous to mention. That's the city, and that's it there when you look again at the alignment of the equinox coming directly dealing with it. And again, you'll get it from different angles, solstices, creating a crown even upon Angkor. So that's really giving you an idea internationally, you know, of how the sun and the movements of the sun and the movements of the stars align with the not just megalithic sites but archaeological sites that have been created. And you know, this is why, again, even as I said, this program here is also brought to you by our international homeschool cosmic classes. Now, let us come a little closer as such to home. Green Castle Hill. Okay, well, for sure, this is the island of Antigua. This is where we are at the moment, somewhere around here in Antigua. This is in the Northeast Caribbean. This is where I was born specifically. And this is just a piece of, obviously, just a shot. Where are we going here? Going up to the Eternal City. That's the name of this area here. Green Castle Hill. You notice the megaliths there sticking out. Or this is how the hill stays. This is not the hill here. You know. This is just a little mound on the hill. The hill has several mounds. This is not even halfway up the hill, but from this little angle here, you could see the amount of megaliths that stand out here on Green Castle Hill, definitely covered with grass, but the megaliths are there. Now, first of all, let me say, these megaliths here on Green Castle Hill, they are not menhirs. Students, can you remember what menhirs are? Because they're different type of megalithic sites, you know. Obviously, these are built, you can see that. You have megalithic site pyramids. I mean, you have temples, different megalithic sites. You have different types of temples, simple alignment temples, you know, standing stone temples and henges, because a henge, as I showed you, is like a circle of stones. A henge is a circle of stones. So when they refer to Green Castle Hill as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, we understand why they're saying that, but technically they're wrong, because Green Castle Hill is not a henge. Green Castle Hill is countless of rocks. Now you see, like you have here, this is in Karnak in Brittany there. This is the very same way, or a similar way, that Green Castle Hill is aligned, or is set up. But you can look at these and see that they were set up like they were definitely put in arrayment. That is why archaeologists would come to Green Castle Hill and believe that the stones on Green Castle Hill were put in alignment as well. All right, you could see that these were really put down and they look nice, but not so with Green Castle Hill. These may be menhirs, which are freestanding stones, but with Green Castle Hill, we're talking about megaliths that are protruded out of the earth. This is the point here. These stones you're looking at here were not placed there. They're literally growing out of the earth. And we can prove this and have proven this over and over again, because remember now, this hill is being destroyed. They're mashing up Green Castle Hill. You didn't know that? Oh yeah, man, they're breaking it down. Since 1963, they've been trying to demolish it. It's almost halfway gone. And when you go on the broken side, you can see the stones coming from the core of the earth, but we will show you more about that in a moment. So Green Castle Hill now, as I said, specifically in the island of Antigua, around this area here, Green Castle Hill, this is basically the mountain area of the island, the Sherkley Mountains, and Green Castle Hill is just a bit off of the Sherkley Mountains. A very like the little hill amongst the great mountains as such. Green Castle Hill, I'm telling you, and unique in the sense that it's the only area that has such a strong concentration of these volcanic rocks on the island. In fact, volcanic rocks on the island is something very unique to Greencastle Hill, because the island itself has never been considered, to be a volcanic. So as I'm saying to you now, the hill is littered with these rocks that just protrude out of the earth. And these rocks that protrude out of the earth have a natural alignment with all the dates I just called. Listen to this. Greencastle Hill has an alignment with the sunrise of the summer solstice, with the sunset of the summer solstice, with the sunrise of the spring and fall equinox, with the sunset of the spring and fall equinox, with the sunrise of the winter solstice, with the sunset of the winter solstice. They have the 5th of May. You have all these key days. The 21st day of April, the 25th day of May, the days we just spoke of a moment ago, from the 20th to the 23rd of February, the 20th to the 23rd of October, all of these days, every single day, every single moment, there's a natural alignment with the megaliths that are on Greencastle Hill. It's just natural. So you can see now these megaliths that literally, these steelers coming out of the earth. You can see the sunrise. This is coming over the hill. These are a cluster of rocks that stand between the vulva and the phallic stone. The vulva represents the female reproductive organ. And you could see now, even this is going up the hill, and the vulva is aligned with the rising of the sun and connected to the phallic stone during the time of the equinoxes. Here it is. Now, let me show you something, my brothers and sisters. In fact, before I show you that something, let me show you something else before I go that far. What I want to, pardon me for that. I just want to read something for you here. This is taken from, I hope everyone is okay. This is taken from semanticscholars.org. And it's headlined here, "The Possible Influence of Astronomy on the Culture of Ceramic Age Pre-Columbian Inhabitants of Greencastle Hill, Antigua." And once again, as I said, we definitely done no give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And for sure, just giving a good understanding there as we just preparing to go into the depths of the talk, the chalice talk. And yeah, that was just a strength to all of those who will be definitely joining us in June for the upcoming summer solstice. I think those of you who were wondering, because remember, every day someone new comes into the tiger's nest, and definitely there may be those who are a bit green, a bit green to the concept of what Greencastle Hill is all about. I know I just kind of stopped it there. I know I was on a roll. I know some of you were saying, come on, man, I want to hear some more. Well, specifically that video specifically is entitled Heliopolis, the City of the Sun, discovered in the Caribbean, Antigua. And you can see that definitely on my channel, the fullness. We didn't start at the beginning, and that's definitely not the end. But what the video was all about is to kind of make the connection so you could see, the link with all of these ancient sites that have been created that have this natural connection, this natural alignment with, the heavens, this natural alignment with the movements of not just the sun within the solstice and of course the equinoxes, but also even the moon and Venus and combinations of movements. There are stones that highlight when a specific planet will be at a certain spot and when the sun will be at a certain spot, which may even happen only maybe on a cycle of once every 5,000 years or once every 10,000 years. And because, the heavens do move like that. But so what we were highlighting in that episode there is, how important of an astronomical observatory this hill in ancient and modern Heliopolis. In Egypt? No, I'm talking about in Antigua in the Caribbean. How important this hill is, as it has this natural connection. It's Wow, it's any high priest dream, Rasta, because you know the high priest is supposed to be an astronomer, and at the same time, as I said, they're destroying the hill. I think I said something about it's almost halfway gone. Well, it's tricky. A lot of it is definitely gone. It's a very large real estate, eh? So there's a lot to see. In fact, you don't even see what's gone until you go around the other side. But a lot is really has been definitely destroyed. As I said, I was familiar with that hill as a very young child. My father used to work at the quarry that is actually doing the damage to the hill, you know. But for those who will be with us again in June, remember that is from the 17th to the 24th day of June. And let me just say a few things about it. It's very important, especially for those who really are trying to get a good understanding. Every year we do this, our summer solstice experience. We do the winter solstice equinoxes as well. And what we do, as we're doing now, we are inviting our loved ones, our brothers and sisters in the international community to, you know, you take your vacation from time to time. I'm sure every year some of you take your vacation. Sometimes you go, maybe you don't leave your country. You do what they call a staycation. Some of you live in Europe. You may just go to some other part in Europe, whatever the case is. Well, I'm saying this year, and I know many of you have been looking forward to coming in one of these times. Well, this is the time. It's always the time. And I'm talking about the summer solstice experience right here in Antigua. 7 days of joy you definitely will be spending with Rastafari Experience Antigua. And of course, that is our hike and tour group, specifically myself, the Honorable Prophet Andre Rastre specifically are the founders of this organization here, this company. So on the 17th, that will be the day that you arrive, you know. That's your arrival day. That will be a Friday. We'll have a nice meet and greet that evening. And of course, we're starting good, man. We're going straight into a Sabbath service the next day. Make sure you bring your whites. Always important to remember that. And of course, even that evening, you'll be meeting and greeting more of our friends and family within this locality here. You'll be, you know, definitely experience a wonderful lecture, getting a lot of the rich history of the Caribbean and even a lot of the rich history of Antigua. And of course, we expect to have our international, yes, but our local grill will be there for sure, Brother Paddy Simon, and he will be expounding on a lot of the history, even of Greencastle Hill. We just start, you know, you haven't even been to Greencastle Hill as yet, but the next day, which is the Sunday, that would be the 19th, you know, we're going to begin that day with the beach and some yoga and beach for sure. And then it is that afternoon, we will have our first hike to Greencastle Hill. Just imagine the vibration there. And that will be the sunset hike. That is going to be such a beautiful session. We intend to have Nyabingi drums on the hill as well. And of course, we will have some of our historians and our archaeologists also will be with us. A lot of vibration, you know, and a lot of people from the community will be with us, and we will be observing the setting of the sun. You will get to see a good portion of Greencastle Hill and understand the levels of the vibration. This is just the sunset hike. There's another hike, but I will tell you about that. And then when the sun actually sets, you know, we will see the stars come out one by one and identify the stars and observe certain alignments. So you'll see firsthand exactly what I, you know, will be, you know, have been talking about all of this time. And then the next day, we're gonna up early again, because that's going to be the day of the island tour. So you'll get to, you know, see the different historical sites outside of Greencastle Hill in here in Antigua. And of course, that will also be the day we do the official cannabis tour and the cannabis educational tour that will be within the grounds of the Rastafari community, and we'll have an official chalice talk as well. Oh, you're gonna love this, family, for sure. And then at the same time, we will, and remember, there's definitely, just keep in mind, there's no, I hope you're not thinking any pressure whatsoever for anyone to indulge in anything they desire not to. I just want that to be clear. I really hope the message never goes on, went out in the wrong way. But for those who want to indulge, man, you can dive right in and just take it from me. But anyway, yeah, and that will be a whole day's activity, you know. And then the next day, which will be, that will be Tuesday, the 21st, that's the summer solstice itself. We return to Greencastle Hill again, and this will be for a morning hike. Then you'll see other aspects of Greencastle Hill that you wouldn't have seen on the sunset hike, and we will be seeing the sunrise. You will see where the sun on the summer solstice, and this is when the sun is going to be in its northernmost part of the heavens, and you'll see the alignments with specific keystones that have been set up to align with the very same summer solstice. And then at the same time, we will be looking into, you know, coming through, well, that day, in the afternoon, we will also return to the beach for a second time. And for those who desire to do yoga on the beach, of course, the Honorable Empress Naya will be ready for you to go through that. And then now, well, that will be the Tuesday. And on the Wednesday, we'll definitely have a day of freedom where, you know, you will have your opportunity to do what you think you would like to do, for sure. Whatever, I'm sure many would like to return to the Rastafari community, you know, and but whatever it is, and we'll also be having a media day where those of you who are not too shy will be able to speak to the community. And then on the Thursday, this will be a very serious day. This is the day we're having the yoga retreat. Now, for those of you who are not, you know, never been that much into yoga, as you could see, you'll be getting just a few short snips of yoga exercises one morning and one afternoon. But then that's just preparing you for the full day yoga retreat. And this will also include many people from the society will be there as well. The Honorable Empress Naya will be conducting that yoga retreat. And then even after that, now specifically, that is where we would really be completing or concluding it, the whole hiking tour experience, I should say. You know, Friday would be your departure day. So those who will be leaving on Friday, by Thursday night, you know, you'll be crying and it'll be hugs and thank you so much. Trust me, you want to bet how much you got. Yeah, and then the Friday for those who desire to go. But well, it's up to you. You got to know what you're into. But at the same time, remember everything. You got to just contact us to get all the information. Everything is definitely will be all inclusive. Specifically, your accommodations as well, and even as far as your transportation, as far as not your traveling, I should say, from wherever you may be coming here to Antigua, you would see for sure that you could definitely, well, for sure you got to look into that now, you know, because the main thing is to set your ticket that you are here for the 17th day of June. That's like the main thing, to set your ticket that you're here for the 17th day of June. So you can contact us, as well as we have made certain connections to specific travel agencies where you would more than likely could get a better price than what you may be just getting straight from either the airline or whatever the case is. So you can contact us to get a good rundown of the itinerary. You can contact us as well to get the full pricing of this whole experience. So you will have a good breakdown as well. You will understand for sure, of course, your traveling and then your accommodations, and you will definitely be getting quality accommodations and very inexpensive. I wouldn't say very, but inexpensive. I mean, you're getting quality. We do our best to make sure the family and loved ones that we are inviting here, fully comfortable from the time you tiptoe until you go on the plane. We are here to make sure that you are comfortable. So believe me, we are working even now behind the scenes, making sure everything is set for when you come and join us here in Antigua. I just want you to comprehend what is really taking place here. So, so you will understand your accommodations plus you will have a good idea of exactly what is the cost of the experience itself. Now, all the things I just explained. And of course, remember that your breakfast, lunch, and dinner will all be provided. And I'm speaking vegan. So you could see the whole wellness atmosphere of what we are creating here. And I am positive if you are considering coming to Antigua as, taking a vacation, I am positive that you will be very satisfied with the cost of this whole experience. Plus, even though you have expectations, I am more than positive when it's done, even before it's done, you will say, wow, this was worth it 20 times more than what I paid. I'm just telling you, So it's all about the love. And let me be clear, family, you actually coming here actually gives us a mighty strength as you assist us in the whole aspect of the awareness of Greencastle Hill. Remember, this is not like something that we all here cherish. It's a hill that's been destroyed. And at the same time, the hill itself is, like a unique hill in the earth. That is why you have, former colonial masters buried at the top of it. Just like how they buried Cecil Rhodes at the top of the Matoba Mountains. Because they understand that, listen, these rocks align with the heavens. Because in Zimbabwe, in the Matoba Mountains, also called the Madoba Mountains, the boulders, the mountain of the great boulders, they're said to have a connection with the movements of the sun and the planets as well. And so Cecil Rhodes, such a killer, asked his subordinates to bury him there, specifically when he passed on. And the same thing Governor Baldwin did here. Right here in Antigua. He was the governor of the Leeward Islands. So basically, you have a good idea of the importance, and it doesn't really leave room for me to guess anymore why they really destroy it, this hill. So family, just contact us, for more information. As I said, you don't know, email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Everything is really set for you to make sure it is all perfect and in order. And your registration, everything can be done online, your payment, as I said, clear understanding of even your traveling. You could even link us as well, Rastafari Experience Antigua, area code 1268-714-1227, or call and WhatsApp 1268-728-8289. So I'm very thankful that you were such, patient family to give me a chance to give an understanding. Honestly, I didn't expect to go all there, but give you a good understanding of exactly what will be taking place for the summer solstice. And I'm looking forward, to seeing as much as the loved ones that I can see and meet and greet and build a bond, and all is definitely well. Looking forward, for such. Most High Selassie Jah Rastafari. So give thanks again. As I said, we are into the Chalice Talk moment. And of course, Chalice Talk is a program really put together for meditation going into the Sabbath day. And, I would like to just, touch upon a subject area that might seem quite as if we've passed those stages. And really, I would say for myself, maybe at times I am guilty as such, if you want to say, of really passing them stages and actually not looking back at times. Now, a lot of the programs I do, family, is questions that I would see come continually, you know, and the asking the question, who is the real King of Kings and who is the real Lion of Judah? And specifically speaking of Emperor Haile Selassie I, and specifically speaking of the character known as Jesus Christ. Again, I would believe that we would have gone past such stages. But you see, when gone past when, as I said earlier, there are people that come across this information every day. There are people that born every day. There are people that become, new people step into the understanding of the truth every day. New people hear about Emperor Haile Selassie I every day. So this is not no, old people club we're running here. Like if we've all been here from ever since. So this is why we have homeschool programs for children that are beginning this and set it in a way so that they can be more advanced than even us when they reach to this stage and to this age. So believe it or not, it is a question that merits an answer and understanding. And as I said, one may not ask directly that, but ones would want to know things like if Haile Selassie is Jesus Christ, and if he's Jesus Christ, all sort of things. The same thing, like why did Mussolini and how he had to run from Ethiopia? And there are those that ask these things with a genuine heart, it's not like they're trying to mock you. They're trying to, and even if they sound a little aggressive, they may be very dipped in what they believe. So they're some of us who bonfire and Christendom and so now, some of us were preachers, deacons and choir boys, and very strong evangelists and Bible in your backpack. And so you may still have your Bible in your backpack, but you preaching something different now. And you used to preach against it. So you don't have to be upset with no one. And as I said, it's not as if ones would come with any anger. Ones would really want to know these things and maybe even really get an answer. Some people want to know if Jesus really existed. You may think the simple answer is to say, no man, fire burn that man, that's Serapis. And Serapis, and then somebody else will say, that's Michelangelo uncle that he painted. And then, somebody else would say, something else. Then somebody else would say, no, man, nobody named Jesus. The man name was Jesus. And then someone will say, no, his real name was Yehoshua. Then someone will say, no, man, nobody ever exists named Jesus, Yehoshua. Make up the whole story and all of these different things. And then the next man will tell you, well, listen, he did exist. His name wasn't Jesus, his name was Yehoshua, but he never really died on the cross and he never rose up again. Or he wasn't really from a virgin birth. And you get different stories. So you see, and I'm a person, I like clear conversations, at least clear understanding of conversations. So this is why we take time. As you could obviously see, this is taking time. This is when you come and you sit with me. We take time to address a lot of these issues and make sure we give a good answer to the young ones, as clearly as we can. All right. Okay, family, let's get to it here. And yes, it's Chalice Talk, and let me do say, well, let me put it like this. I know a few ones may be saying, man, how are you not drawing the pipe here? Let us see you draw the pipe. Now, I've addressed the whole aspect of, pulling the chalice as such, because I know everyone is not with it. I know. I just know, have to ask. Everyone is not, maybe with seeing the priest taking a drop of the holy cup. You know, ones may say, hey, look, you know, that may cost you an opportunity. You know, if you wanted a job somewhere and they go and they investigate you and they see you pulling chalice on YouTube. Oh, no. No, he won't work. Well, listen, Rasta. Them is different time. Eh? Yeah. Them is different time. I don't know if many of us understand it. But what King Emmanuel has taught us and what I've seen for myself is that when you declare yourself as who you are, the world just have to accept you. Man is priest. The world accept man as priest. You know? The world accept man as priest. The world, there ain't got nobody that don't accept I and I as priest. And they never see no certificate. Some of them don't even know where you get it from. But just because of your works and how you stand up, they respect you as priest. You don't see the level of respect that King Emmanuel get from the world of heads of state, as far as acknowledgement and many different things, just because of how he stand up. He didn't come with no degrees. No university had to certify him and give him no accreditation. He just bust through the door. Yeah, he tell them before. and put down the order and put down the salvation and stand for freedom, redemption, and international repatriation, and the whole world just have to say, yeah, the champion of human rights. These are official things. The champion of human rights. You know. So I'm just saying that you don't necessarily have to wait on no one to acknowledge really, you know, who you are. You must know who you are and step out as who you are and just, you know, go forward with the full strength. Now, so when we look at this whole aspect of, as I said, who is the real Lion of Judah? Again, we know for sure that even before the birth of Emperor Haile Selassie I, you know, the concept is that, again, Jesus Christ, and I'm going to speak it in plain language, not the new standard and how we interpret it now. This is just what it was. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, born of the Virgin Mary, impregnated, I think, by the Holy Ghost. I hope I'm not saying that concept wrong. And died and was buried and rose up again the third day for the sins of all people. This human being who sits at the right hand of the Father Most High, he will return. And when he returns, he shall be the King of Kings, and he shall be the Lord of Lords. And this is seen, Revelation 19, declare this. Revelation chapter 5, verse 5, says that this man shall be the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Now keep in mind, this is all written before even the birth of the emperor. Whether a person believes the Bible is however old, I know it old enough that it was there before 1892. And the interpretation, the whole Jesus thing was already around. So ones were saying that the Lion of Judah is Jesus up to today. You go and you go in your search engine and say Lion of Judah. Jesus does come up too. Of course, the real Lion of Judah does come up, but Jesus does show up as well. Good. You know, they have ministries, they call Lion of Judah Ministries. They think is the King of Kings, Haile Selassie, they're talking about God. Jesus. Pardon the language, yeah? Just trying to make a point. So, again, a person may say, but no, brother, you can't call him Jesus. His name is not Jesus, his name is Yahshua. Who are you talking about? I talking about Jesus, brother. I ain't talking about Yahshua. I talking about Jesus. Jesus. What if I have a picture of Jesus up here? You don't know Jesus, man? Let me introduce you here to Jesus. Not really just by picture, but with a level of understanding. This is who I'm speaking about. Now, you know, it takes a certain level of comprehension, a certain level of, well, inner standing, just to be clear with where we're going here, you know. Now, again, as I said, you know, I'm not speaking of Joshua. You see, I'm going to take some time here. I just wanted you to get me good. I'm not speaking of Yehoshua or the Emmanuel or the Negus or the Jesus, Isa. I'm speaking specifically of Jesus. Okay. You may say, but I don't understand. All right. Now again, as I said, when you go through the fullness thereof, the whole energy is something like this. Let us take a quick look at the book of Matthew. I just want to make this point proper. So we're going to look at the book of Matthew, you know, the regular King James here. And this is, you know, the genealogy of Christ. Now, I'm going to show you the depths of where I'm at here. In fact, I'm going to purposely, when I read this here, I'm going to purposely say Christ. And you will see. Now, this says here, the book of the generations of Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. And Judas begot Phares, and Zara, and Tamar, and Phares begot Ezron, and Ezron begot Aram, and Aram begot Aminadab, and Aminadab begot Nahshon, and Nahshon begot Salmon, and Salmon begot Boaz of Rachel, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David, and David begot Solomon. That's a very key point. And David begot Solomon. That's a very key point. Keep that in mind. And David begot Solomon of her that had been wife of Uriah. And Solomon begot Roboam, and Roboam begot Abiai, and Abiai begot Asa, and Asa begot Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Ozias, and Ozias begot Joatham, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on, down and down and down, until we reach, let's say, the 15th verse, and it says, Eliud begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Joseph. Hear this, listen good, no man. And Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Christ, who is called the Christ. Good. Listen to me. This is the genealogical chart of Christ. Now, you see, you could read the scripture, you know, and you could really be reading about Yehoshua, the Messiah. Yeah. And you could be reading the same scripture, and because of your psychological state of mind, you could be reading about Jesus Christ. Now, what I'm saying is that, who is Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ was born of a woman who had never had sexual intercourse. The Yahushua, who we call Jesus Christ, didn't come into the world like that. He had a father and he had a mother. You see? So that's two different people. That's two different people. If one person don't have no daddy and the other person have a father and a mother, how you can say that the two of them is the same? That's two different people. Now here, this one here, listen. Jesus Christ now was crucified. They killed him. And he was dead for 3 days, 72 hours. And he came back alive. And he ascended into heaven. And he is now seated at the right hand of God. Interestingly, you know, you can apply the similar thing to Yahushua, but not in a literal, exactly how it sounds sense. So the Jesus character now, the individual that has that name that you hear one speak about in the Christendom, in the church, and these different things. His identity, even the way he looks, because Yahushua, the black Messiah, Jesus is a Caucasian. Now I know the New Day Christian is going to say it doesn't matter what color he is and all of that. You can say what you want. But when I was a child, maybe before you were born, it mattered what color he was. To everybody, black, white, everybody, it mattered. And he was white. Jesus, the picture I just showed you a while ago, Rastafari. That is Jesus. Look at him here. That is Jesus. This is Jesus sitting on the right hand of God. Getting a little comfortable there. I don't know, he's taking off his clothes in that one day. But anyway, yeah, that is Jesus. Listen, you have different mythological characters. The 16 crucified saviors. You have Zeus. I can show you a picture of Zeus. You have Odin. You can show a picture of Odin. You have Mithras. I can show you a picture of Mithras. You have given some kind of the mythological. Krishna? Who? Krishna. You can show, I can show you a picture of Krishna. Give me one of them Greek people there. Venus, all of these people from mythology. Now, a lot of the mythological characters, listen to me good, a lot of the mythological characters have been actually created off of real people too, but they have been, made a little more supernatural than maybe what they are. So you find them flying on pigeons, and walking across the sea, and floating up in the air, and the sun come and grab their hand and pull them up, all kind of things, which really get swallowed by big fish. It doesn't mean that the person that was swallowed by the beast is not a real person. And swallowed by the beast don't mean you were swallowed by an animal. You may have been swallowed by a system. You may have been in prison. You may have gone into the dungeon for 3 days and 3 nights, just like Christ says, as Jonah went into the belly of the fish. So when they speak about how Jonah went into the belly of the fish, or how he went into the belly of the beast, they draw it and show you Jonah going into the belly of a beast, into the belly of a fish. You understand? So really, what you have here is, as I was saying the other evening, that even in the Bible, in Ezekiel, it talks about God and says that God has 4 beasts around him. And these beasts, the 4 beasts, have 4 faces each. And each of the face of an ox, the face of a cherub, the face of a man, the face of an ox, a man, the face of a lion, and the face of an eagle. These 4 faces, yes, he mentioned cherub in another chapter instead of the face of an ox, but that's a totally different reason altogether. But these 4 beasts that were around God Almighty are beasts that are God-friendly, is God beasts they be, you know, but they were described as having 4 faces, 4 heads and 4 faces on each of the heads, something like that. And they had wings and they're flying and all of these different things, faces, you know, lion face and eagle head and ox head, all in one being. Hear that? And that's a godly thing. That's Christianity. That's the Bible. You see me? I know it may never, you know, you never maybe ever looked at it like that, but that's what it is. So when you see ancient Kemet and you see a simple thing like a man with a hawk head, you don't have to flip. Or the man with the head of the ram, Amun, and the sun on top of it, Amun-Ra, you don't have to lose yourself. It's just ancient symbology, just like how the Bible used ancient symbology to speak about the mighty angels that walk with God. That's how they were described in symbolic form. It doesn't mean they look like that. It doesn't mean they look like that. So my point is, Jesus is one of them characters like Justin and Atlas and that you see carrying the world on his back and all of these different mythological characters that have become literalized, you know, into the real world and given date and time and age and all of that when they're just esoteric stories. That's all it is. So this is why a person can argue, and rightfully so argue, that Jesus never existed. That is the truth. Now, the Yehoshua is more than a name. Yehoshua is a title. Joshua. So the Joshua in the Old Testament, the person you call Jesus, really. Jesus is the Greek term of the name Joshua again. So in every cycle, there is a Joshua. You know, in every dispensation, a Joshua comes again. It is just natural. It is reincarnation. They just continually appear. Good. So what I'm saying now, family, getting to the point. Jesus, according to what we are to understand here, never had a father. Now, clearly, this scripture here is giving you the bloodline, not of Mary. It's giving you the bloodline of Joseph, her husband. So if the Sunday school teacher didn't come and try to indoctrinate me, according to this story, I would believe that Joseph is the father of the person who is called Christ. I mean, why then give me all of these names? Listen, it started all the way from, this is the book of the generation of Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, and it came all the way down till it reached David, begot Solomon, and it come all the way down at least 100 and something names until it come to Jacob and next Jacob, not Israel. Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born the Christ. Nothing wrong, sounds good to me. I actually can work with that. But Christendom teaches that Jesus, remember I said Jesus is a different character. Jesus was born in Palestine. The Messiah that we speak of, the Yehoshua character, wasn't born in no Palestine. So if I was born in Antigua and somebody else born in St. Vincent, they can't be me. They have a mother and no father. I have both mother and father. They can't be me. I black and they white. They can't be me. How they come me? There ain't no black Jesus, you know. There's no black Jesus. I hear people talk about, well, you know, remember Jesus was black. Which one? Jesus never black. Jesus was never black. Jesus is a European Rasta. You can't change that. Don't try to bring Jesus in here, yo. Jesus never black. You talking about somebody else. I hope you get my point, you know. So what I'm saying now, Jesus has no genealogical bloodline attached to King Solomon and to King David. Do you know what tribe David is from? David is from the tribe of Judah. King Solomon is from the tribe of Judah. All them names that we just ran through here a moment ago, all of them is from the tribe of Judah. Joseph is of the tribe of Judah. I've read in some of them books that they took out of the Bible that Mary was of Levi. In fact, some people use the link to show that Christ was of both Levi and still of Judah, you know, like the priesthood and the kingship. Sounds fair to me. But what I'm saying is that if Joseph was not his biological father, if Joseph was not the biological father of the Christ, then the Christ could not be of the lineage of Judah if his mother is not of the lineage of Judah. And even if you try to, you know, somehow say, no, but she was, I can prove it. Okay, fair enough, you don't have to bring the proof. But why would they waste all this paper and ink on giving you the bloodline of Joseph? This bloodline was given to prove a point, you know, to prove that Christ is of the lineage of Judah. So why not give us Mary's bloodline? You should have tell us Mary's mother's name, or tell us her father's name and his father's name and his father's name, and let us see where that carries us. But to give us Joseph's father's name and his father's name and his father's name. So what's going on here? Somebody playing with the mind. You see how Jesus creeping? This is not Jesus, eh? Jesus has a father. Jesus and Joshua and the Emmanuel, they are of the lineage of the tribe of Judah. So if you're going to ask me, you know, between Haile Selassie and Jesus, which one is the true line of the tribe of Judah? Well, Jesus done disqualified. I mean, even before we ring the bell, the king done win by default. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that like that. I'm talking about the emperor. You mix words when it comes to Haile Selassie. But just looking at the vibes. Okay, a person may say, no, because I came across this already. The book of Luke, because I know somebody out there crying. The book of Luke has Mary's genealogical bloodline, which I think is madness. You have people that preach this crazy. They should bring the straight jacket people for you. Let's read the book of Luke quickly, because I know we done seal this up and make the point already. Luke chapter 3 gives you a bloodline. It does give a bloodline. Here it is. And Christ himself, I'm saying Christ again, verse 23. And Christ himself began to be about 30 years of age, being, in brackets, as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli. Now here it is, before I go any further. What I have learned from theological classes is that when you see something in brackets, it means that it is the translators that put it there. This is what I learned. So now, let's take out as was supposed and hear how the story sounds. And Christ, being about 30 years of age, being the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli, which was the son of Matan, or Mata, which is the son of Levi, which was the son of Melchi, which is the son of Janna, which is the son of Joseph, and next Joseph, which is the son of Matthias, and it goes up and up and up and up. But before we reach there, what I'm saying is that, so without the bracket, it sounds like the story is saying, and this Christ was the son of Joseph. Without the as was supposed, like we're guessing now, as was supposed. But anyway, family, hold on. All right. But anyway, let's not dwell on that point. The point is, they're giving us Joseph's genealogical bloodline again, genealogical chart. Do you know they have some Bibles that have the nerve to have right between verse 22 and 23? Right here, they're having some little writings. Here lies the genealogical chart of Mary. They have the nerve to put that as if you can't read. Being 30 years, being the son of Joseph, or as was supposed, the son of Joseph, who he, the son of Heli, the son of somebody else, the son of somebody else, the son of somebody else. And listen to this, Luke says that Joseph's father name is Heli. Matthew said that Joseph's father name is Jacob. In fact, the whole lineage different. I hear people try to figure it out and say, well, it maybe was a different translation. What different translation? Look it right here. Let me show you where the whole thing mess up. And I will say mess up. David. See, remember, Matthew's own started from the top, come down. Luke's own started from back, go forward. So Luke start from the Christ, working his way back to Abraham. Matthew start from Abraham, working his way down to Christ. You check the trick here. But listen to this. According to Luke, David begot Nathan. Look at right here. David begot Nathan. In Matthew, he said David begot Solomon. Now, David did begot Nathan, and David did begot Solomon. But hear what I'm saying. We are following the bloodline of one man, that is the Christ. So listen to this, family. Family, listen to me, please. Please listen to me. For Luke to say that the bloodline, not just the bloodline, but there's a specific pearl. The Kebra speaks about this pearl that would pass down from Adam until it reached the Christ. Now, the pearl would go through certain families, yes, but it's always lodged in one individual and it passed on down to generation and generation. You follow what I'm saying? Good. And this is why I always give this example, and I'm going to give it. I said I wasn't going to give it, but I'm going to give it. Let's just say God has red and blue in front of him. This is two people, one named Red and one named Blue. And God said, listen, I'm going to choose one of you. Because that's what God do all through the Bible. Two of you, and I'm going to choose one. And you see you, your bloodline is going to carry this seed until it reaches the Son of God. So it's going to go from one father, from the father to the son, to the son, to the son, to the son. Good. Now people have more than one son. So, okay, good. Because red and blue already came from somebody, they're brothers. So God said, listen, I choose red. Blue, move aside. Red have a son. Red have two sons. Red 1 and Red 2. Listen to me, I ain't playing around. Red has two sons, Red 1 and Red 2. Now, the spirit cannot go in both Red 1 and Red 2. God say, I choose Red 1. Okay. Red 1 has two children, Red 1A and Red 1B. God say, hey, I can't choose the two of them. I choose Red 1A. Red 1A have two sons too. Red 1A 2 and Red 1A 3. God say, hey, you know, the two of you not gonna work. I have to pick one. So what I'm saying is a process of elimination. It's just biology. So David had a Red 1 and a Red 2 or whatever. David had Solomon, David had Nathan. David had many sons. According to Matthew, which is the correct one, Matthew says that the spirit left from David and went to Solomon. And then from Solomon to his son, and from his son to his son. That's how that energy went on. Good. Luke is saying that the spirit left from David and went to Nathan, not Solomon. And then he tell you who Nathan's son is, and who his son is, and who his son is. Okay, the both of them, you may say, have a difference of opinion, but the both of them come right back to Joseph, the supposed father of the Christ. What I'm saying, family, that is impossible, biologically impossible. Remember, the Christ and the Solomon and David is like 1,000+ years apart. And you're going to tell me that David have Solomon and Nathan in front of him, and both of them have children, the thing break off already, and somehow this specific seed travel and still come to Joseph, and Luke is saying it's Joseph, and Matthew is saying it's Joseph. That is why Matthew have a different father for Joseph, and Luke have a different father for Joseph than Matthew, because it's a totally different bloodline, and it's impossible for one to go to Nathan and one to go to Solomon, and the two of them end up at Joseph. That is not even a miracle. That's just impossible. That's no miracle talk. That's impossible. Anybody can see, hey, somebody trying to trick us here, or this is a big mistake. And I've covered this already. I've covered this already, but I'm trying to prove a point in this sabbatical moment here. By the time you're watching this, it should be. I'm trying to make the point that the person that we call Jesus, because it's Jesus, the one that was born from the Virgin. I know a lot of us say, yeah, but Osiris and Horus, and so you must understand it. They have similar themes, but they're not necessarily the same. Even when they say Mithra was born from the Virgin, Mithra was born out of the rock. Some of these ones, the crucified saviors that you say was born from the Virgin, some of them were born out of the water. It's the same concept, because the Virgin that gave birth to the Christ, her name was Mary, which does mean water. So it is the same thing, but you just have to understand the science that is being put down here. So I'm showing you clearly that the Jesus figure, as you could see from Christianity, is an individual that is not related to Joseph. That is why they try to make you believe that this is Mary's bloodline, where Mary's name is not even in there. I don't know who can believe this. Well, I know who, because I came across them already. So they're trying to patch it up, because Matthew clearly shows you that this is the lineage of Joseph. And Joseph is not related to Jesus. And to me, Luke is showing you too, from his own perspective, this is the lineage of Jesus, and Joseph not related to Jesus now. And Joseph is of the tribe of Judah, not Mary. So again, if you have to put up Jesus, because this is what ones want to know, who is the real lion of the tribe of Judah? Now, Haile Selassie the first. As we are, I'm not even going to try to prove nothing about the king. All I'm saying is that we all know that the emperor, and this here now, before I go, this is a painting of Yahshua. This painting here is not Jesus. This is a painting of Yahshua. Again, this is Jesus here. The ancients once said that Yahshua was born in a cave in Ethiopia. He was born in a manger in Palestine. It's two different people. And this is a picture of Yahshua, and the same one that shall return as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And I'm trying to show you, everyone knows that Haile Selassie is of the tribe of Judah. Whether you think he's the Lion of it or not, but he surely is of the tribe of Judah. And we all know the accolades that he received as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So as I said before you, if you are asking of Haile Selassie and Mr. Jesus, which one is the Lion of the tribe of Judah? Well, number one, Jesus is not of the tribe of Judah. He's of the tribe of the Holy Ghost. I mean, I ain't dissing his tribe, but it's not the tribe of Judah. So he have already lost the race just because he does not qualify for the space of the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So Mr. Judah, I mean, you and Oded have to work it out again, see if you can fix it up. They say you're coming again, maybe you can try one more time, I don't know, but you have to be, and you're too late. So people still looking for the King of Kings, and the King of Kings done come amongst us. You see, the thing is, they already made sure that they religiousized our mind. So when it happened realistically right in front of us, we totally missed the boat, and we up in the air and up in the sky, still looking, and everything happening right in front of us. You see how the emperor shot? So you up in the sky, the man just pass you. It's just, yeah, reality. So the Lion of the tribe of Judah, again, must be of the tribe of Judah. It only makes sense to me. Give thanks, King Selassie, Jah Rastafari. So family, give thanks for the sabbatical moment, You know, I was saying something earlier and I didn't complete the point with the chalice. What I was saying also, I did get a word really that one of, I would say, our esteemed elders, member of the Congress, was not too pleased with, my expression of the chalice, like to the audience. And I got nothing to feel anywhere about. In fact, from my understanding, the expression was made, basically in the semi-public as such amongst I and I. No problem at all. I got the impression that it was more of a little fire that was burned, a touch of fire, but it's all right. I don't feel anyway. And even coming from such, I decided myself, because the word that came is that they don't consider that our father, King Emmanuel, would do that. No, I'm not going to go and tug a war. I'm just humbling myself. And I decided within my own self that I would, for the time, because this is an order that you grow into, and I can humble. This is an order that you grow into. And you would hear from one and you hear from another, because I've heard other things, but again, I'm not going to tug a war. So I decided, all right, I will just humble for the moment. I will continue my investigation. It's all right, because as far as me drawing my chalice, I don't, when people say, oh, well, what will people think? That don't mean a thing to me. And you may lose this opportunity. They may lose the opportunity. I ain't losing nothing. But again, a word coming from one of our esteemed, it didn't come directly to me, but still, it still came around. So I decided that, all right, I would cease from doing that on the camera for the moment. That doesn't mean that's the end of it. I'll continue to investigate, the whole affair. Remember, I have elders that minister unto I, and I'm sure they will get this word. And even before I reach out to them, they're going to reach out to me and tell me, my Lord, let me tell you how the thing really go. And I will take my own time and balance it out, because, hey, I represent King Emmanuel. And I don't burn no spliff in almost 17 years or 18 years by now or something with a wrap up no spliff. And, I wrap a spliff a day. That's about 3 years or so ago, just to see if I could still do it. Because it's been so long and there's a reason. And who's sitting and teaching about the real essence of the Holy Grail and what really going on. This Holy Grail thing is a deep subject, and I can sit here for 6 hours and just mash this thing up here and on many different levels, and that's just the truth. So I know I come to defend it big time, but still. So that's why I'm not saying, well, I'm going to stop because he says, oh, no. I'll take the word in all humility and continue my investigation, because you don't know, it's not a one-man kingdom. You know, it's committee and parliament, and so give thanks. Life given, the keeper of life, King Selassie I Jah, Rastafari. Let me remind you, remember Monday is the final day for you to get your space for the upcoming natural birthing workshop. Well, not the last day, but for you to get the tickets for only $35. Of course, remember the space is $50. It's definitely worth it. I mean, for a 2-hour workshop, virtually, directly speaking, on the whole subject of natural childbirthing. Definitely, family, this is something that you definitely want to be a part of. And don't forget that you will be presented with your certification or certificate of attendance after the whole event. And you could imagine all that you will learn and still have, if you want to say, proof that you were there. So we give thanks, remember, hosted and facilitated by our own certified and professional international doula, the Honorable Empress Naya. So definitely come and learn the art of giving birth naturally. Definitely contact us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com to get all information. And remember, remember, for those who may not have been here from the beginning, remember, just contact us again, same address, to get more information on the summer solstice retreat, summer solstice experience, double hike Greencastle Hill, and of course, cannabis store and the fullness thereof. Yes, family, I love you with all I heart. Black Christ in flesh, give thanks for the Sabbath when it come around. King Emmanuel the seventh. Adonai God, Jah, Rastafari, blessed love.